Welcome to the South Bay Guitar Show, the show that's all things guitar and the people that play them. And with us for tonight's episode is Stu Hughley. Thanks for coming in, Stu.
Thanks, Jim.
All right, and I see that you got a Telecaster there that you're holding right now.
Oh, yeah.
Is this one of your main axes?
Yeah, I would say it's up there as my number one, at least this week.
Ah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a nice 52 reissue. It's got this beautiful butterscotch blonde, and you get little translucent, transparent.
Right.
You know, you can see the wood grain there along the back.
That's the classic look for Telecasters.
When I think Telecaster, I think this color. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, maple neck, a little bit laminated.
When you see that guitar, you think a lot of the Nashville players. I
Yeah.
mean, all the country greats and everything, they love that guitar.
And I'm just thinking just chicken picking licks and screaming country bands and all that kind of stuff. Yeah,
exactly. Can't beat that tone. So tell me a little bit about your past and your history. How long have you been playing guitar now?
Maybe about 25 years or so now.
Okay.
Yeah, I got into it back in the 80s. So it was, at that time, you know, it's kind of the glam rock and the hair metal and that kind of thing going on. And, you know, that's when I think guitar playing technically was like at its high.
Yeah.
You know, you had like the Yngwie Malmsteens and the Eddie Van Halens, and, you know, just everyone's just trying to top each other. In fact, you know, basically they just wrote songs so they could solo pretty much.
Yeah, and it was taking it to a whole another level of speed and all that sort of
exactly.
approach. Right.
And, you know, as a kid, that's all I heard was the speed, and I wanted to get into that, and I thought it was cool.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's where you really began. You were getting into some Van Halen, and Yngwie stuff, but obviously you've branched out. And so, what was the rest of your musical education?
I think from that, you know, I started taking lessons locally, and getting into the songs, and then I decided to go to USC for the studio guitar program, and I think that's when I learned to really get inside music, and I really learned to appreciate like composition and other musicians' roles. You know, I listened to drums more and then bass more, and got more into orchestration, and then there I also learned how to be a better player by listening and learning to back up people. And
like it took it a little bit from being more a hobby, passion, to, hey, this can be a profession, passion.
Right, yeah.
They give you a different approach.
Yeah, it just gave me a reason to wake up in the morning. You know, that's all I thought about.
So did that enable you to branch out into other styles? And
Oh, yeah, most definitely. I mean, I heard a lot of stuff. I mean, you know, especially you get into like 20th century classical music and 8-tone music and 12-tone roll and that kind of thing. But I think that really helped me the most was like I was telling you, like listening to orchestration more, I can get inside the music, and it's like I like to make people sound better. So it's like I like having a role up there where I'm listening to somebody, a singer or a sax player, whoever is soloing, and just like knowing when and when not to play. It's like you almost don't know that I'm there.
Yeah, the quiet spaces and parts can be just as important as all the main performance.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, that's really good. So now what do? You go out and perform? Do you play shows and so forth?
Not so much shows, but, you know, mostly I do lessons, I do casuals, that kind of thing. I have a couple, you know, I have a trio I play with. Right. And it's, you know, whatever the occasion calls, whoever needs me.
So you do gigs.
Yeah.
And are they a variety of performances, some restaurant,
yeah, pretty much
things,
restaurant, wedding, you know, special occasion, hotel, corporate gigs, you know, that kind of thing. And definitely learn.
Is that more the jazz forte
I
music
would say,
or blues or?
Mostly probably funk and R&B, that kind of stuff.
Okay. A little bit of dance.
Yeah, a little bit of dance, a little bit of smooth jazz. You know, like I said, I've had to get some George Benson licks in there and that kind of thing.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
Can't go wrong there.
Right,
yeah.
right.
Now, do you write or perform any original music as well?
Yeah, I have. Actually, that's what I'm trying to get back to now. You know, I'm trying to composing because, you know, I spent so much time playing with other people and playing covers and stuff. You know, I wouldn't say I lost myself, but I think it's time to get creative and go back to the writing.
You got any plans to do some recording and get some
CDs
out
in the near future? Yeah, like I said, I'm in the laboratory right now.
All right, so the future's wide open.
Right.
So anyway, besides the Telecaster you brought in here, you got some other guitars with you, and you want to do a little show and tell with these?
Yeah, I think I will. So here we already went to Telecaster, and I think something every guitar should have is a Strat.
Yeah, that's familiar.
Yeah. I mean, it's so iconic, and I mean, it's so versatile. I mean, as far as the tones go, I mean, you got, it's like you got that snarkiness, snappiness.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's the Jimmy sound.
Yeah.
Now, what's the year on this Strat here?
This is a '62. So basically, you know, I kind of like them a little worse for wear, little broken in. But I mean, this one I think the only thing I did with this, I just did a fret job on it. Just put some higher frets so I can get you know, so my notes don't kind of fade out when I bend up here.
And you prefer the rosewood neck on the Strat?
Yeah, yeah. I think it's got a nice mellower tone because what it is, maple kind of screams, and it's great for that for the Telecaster types. But you know, I kind of like to have a little more control over my tone.
Now, have you done any modification on this, or is it just set up stock? Or?
You know, I put some new pickups in there. They're basically a single coil, but they're pretty quiet. There's really no hum in there, and you know, just kind of some push-pull pots to kind of get some different pickup combinations, little tonal varieties.
And you can do the 5-way. You can get between the pickup
Oh
tones.
yeah. You know, the kind of Stevie Ray tone, right. Especially with a little drive.
Great. Now I notice it's got the tremolo capability, but the bar is out. You're just leaving it out for.
I left it out for now. I have it in the case, but usually when I put it in and I get crazy with it, you know, these things
use it as needed, but
yeah, use it as needed, but they tend to go out of tune.
Yeah, that's a fact. Right.
But it's always so much fun.
Right. Now, do you run the full springs in the back, or are you going limited, or?
I just got 3 springs in the back.
The three setup. Yeah.
Just enough to keep the bridge a little flat.
Very flat there. Right. No, great guitar. Can't go wrong with a Strat.
No, like I said, if you're a serious guitar player, everyone should have one.
So, I'm going to guess you use all of these when you go out and perform, or just particular ones depending on the occasion?
Depending on the occasion, but usually I'll usually take my Telecaster and my Les Paul.
Okay.
Because I think I cover the gamut there with tones, and
Fender and Gibson, and that's so many recordings of each, so you cover sounds.
I mean, it's like between those, it's like I have my humbuckers, I have my single coils, and it's like I have my jazz tones, my heavier rock tones as needed, and you know, this one's I can get more twangy or more funky rhythm kind of sound with that, and you know, it's easier if I break a string too. I have a backup.
Exactly.
Yeah. So I always try to bring just 2 guitars.
Right. Just enough that if there is an emergency, something goes wrong, you can cover it. Okay, great. You want to show the others that you brought in?
Yeah. Let's go on down the row here. Let's see, that was there. Yeah. One thing I learned is when you're playing like Fender and Gibson, you can't go wrong. They're both so iconic and just like
that's right. You know. Iconic's the word.
Yeah.
Everybody recognizes them. Now this is a true gem, the Gibson Sg.
Oh yeah, like I said, this is one of my favorites because it's got such a tone to it. Because you got the mahogany. The mahogany is, I guess, pretty much a drier wood, and it kind of screams. It almost kind of. It's like you'll know this.
Yeah. Angus Young, all the way.
Exactly.
Right.
But like I said, that's the mahogany that you hear.
What I've noticed, you know, with my SGs is that they have excellent intonation. Any chording that I do up and down the neck, there's perfect intonation with it.
Yeah, I think I've noticed that too. Yeah, I think you're right on that one.
Yeah, good quality in their manufacture. Now, have you done any sort of modifications on this thing as well?
Well, like I said, I had a little Bigsby on here, but I found I was having a lot of tuning problems, and they're kind of a pain to kind of thread the strings and get them going. And then by the time you're there, you don't have enough left up here to tune it up to pitch.
I find it with the Bigsby, because you can go both down and up, that it doubles the problem of going out of tune, whereas the Strat is almost always down.
Yeah, actually, it's almost like floating like a Floyd, but doesn't really have the stability of it. But once again, it's still fun, you know.
Yeah. Now, what's the year on this guitar?
I believe it's like a late 60s, early 70s, so maybe we'll just split the difference and call it a 70.
Okay. But it sure has a nice wood grain, the old original wood grain.
Oh, yeah.
Now they're a little bit deeper in the red finishes, if you get a red.
Yeah, because I was almost afraid like it'd be a walnut, but it's actually mahogany, and I think it was probably red at one time, but I guess the sun and all that got to it.
Yeah, that could happen, because it is a little darker on the sides. It looks. Yeah. Right.
No, like I said, this ain't seen a lot of.
That's a classic.
Oh yeah, I love just like how you can see the wood grain through the finish and stuff too. And well, there's another modification. I broke the headstock on this, actually twice, and it's still with me.
Oh boy!
But I figured she's with me now. You know, I can't sell it. You know, the value goes way down, but I mean the tone is still there, and I still love to play it. So.
Did you find doing the repair to be a challenge?
No, actually, my brother convinced me that we can do it. He saw it was kind of a clean break. In fact, it didn't really come completely off. I guess somehow there's a little piece of varnish in there that kind of kept it together. So we didn't even have to put a dowel in there or anything. So we just put some wood glue on it, clamped it together, and crossed our fingers.
So now it's almost back as good as new as far as your angles and everything else.
Oh yeah.
So no tuning problems and that sort of thing?
No, this one is a pretty good tune.
Sounds great.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah, that's a great jazz tone. And what else did you bring in?
Oh.
I see it back there.
Yes. Save the best for last, right? And here's what we say is a crown jewel.
Yes, the gold top.
The gold top. And this one's pretty much stock and standard. It's nothing, I didn't really do anything to it. The pickles that came with it, it's the only thing I did, I just took off the covers and pick guard because it's got such a nice finish. I really didn't want to cover it up.
And you're not worried about doing any pick scratches on there?
No.
It sure looks nice, though.
No, I appreciate it. Thank you.
But now, is this pretty much stock with the original humbuckers, or did you change anything?
No, I think probably one day I'll probably change the pots and put the different caps in it and stuff. But it's pretty much this is pretty much standard.
Now, how did you acquire this one? You go to any of the music stores around? Oh,
Yeah.
eBay. Okay.
Yeah. Took me a while, but I finally found what I was looking for because I specifically wanted this year. Because if you notice, it has like this thick baseball bat neck to it.
Yes, yes.
You know, for like we kind of have longer fingers and big hands, and just kind of
nice.
Right,
grab around that.
Yeah. Just a nice chunkiness to it. In addition to being a great rock machine, it gets me through jazz pretty well too.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, such a joy to play.
George and Wes.
Oh, yeah.
You know, that debate will never end for preferences because you got the two classics of the Strat and the Paul. And some were always Paul and some were always Strat, but you got both bases covered here.
Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. I mean, all the songs I've ever heard and all the tones I've ever tried to achieve, they come out of either a Fender or a Gibson.
Now, you brought in a couple of different effects pedals that you're running through your setup here. What do we have?
Yeah, we're keeping it a little minimal today, so I just brought in a couple of drives. This Timmy is a nice overdrive. It's pretty transparent, just enough to just kind of kick this over the top a little bit, give it a little boost, a little hair on the notes.
extra gain, a little crunch. Right.
Just a little kick in the pants. And this one kind of squeeze out the notes, get that nice little overdriven, fusion-y kind of sound. Let's give it a little more volume there.
All right, Stu.
Yeah. Cool,
now, I see what looks like a vintage Fender back there.
Yeah, this is my 66 Super. And I got a couple of mods in here. You know, I have, I guess, a couple of speakers. They're not the stock Jensens. Right. You know, I wanted some speakers with some more mid-range in there. So I believe there's some kind of Eminence.
Okay.
I think the Patriots.
I threw JBLs in mine years ago, but yeah, no, that's you can't go wrong with those old classic tube amps.
Yeah, I want a little more. And like I said, I changed the jewel there.
The LED.
Yeah.
The custom color.
Yeah, we made that blue so I know it's mine.
Yeah, that's a good idea. I like that. All right. Well, do you want to try lay down maybe a couple little jams on your preference of guitar?
It sounds like fun. Let's go back to the basics. Let's start with the Telly again.
Sure. Talked about doing something in C, I believe, right?
Right.
So C blues, little slow thing.
Sounds good.
Okay.
Yeah, cool.
All right, Stu. That sounds sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah, that thing's great for the blues, no question about it.
Yeah, I tell you what I like about it is that it's a little tough to play. You know, so kind of forces you to develop a tone and kind of bonding with the instrument. It's like you're taming it, and then when you do, I think you're rewarded with a great tone.
Now, can I ask what gauge strings are you using? Heavy or medium?
No,
or
tens.
Tens.
Yeah, it's right down the middle.
So nothing really really heavy on there.
No.
Okay.
No, I'm not a masochist. It's just,
Yeah. Because you're tuning pitch with this. So,
Right, right.
And is that pretty much true for all the guitars here? Or do you run different gauges for different guitars?
No, tens all the way around.
Okay. That's, can't go wrong there.
I have a jazz guitar I run 12s on, you know, just kind of get a thicker, like you said, a Wes Montgomery,
Right.
George Benson kind of tone. But
Less bending and more octaves.
yeah, exactly. But for my typical everyday playing needs, tens, and this one's doing the E flat.
Yeah, that's a fun thing to do if you down tune a little bit. You can really get a heavier, even tone with the bigger strings and the down tuning as well.
Yeah, down tuning makes it a little easier to play, but like so you get a grip on the notes and like there's just a different tone about it.
Well, you want to try another? We'll pick a different key and a different guitar.
Yeah, let me see. I wish I had a wheel here and just kind of spin them around and just
yeah, conveyor belt.
Yeah, just pick one at random here. I haven't given the SG enough love. Let's see what we got going on here.
Well, you want to try? We were talking about maybe something in E, a little,
Yeah,
sort of fast, little funky little
try
thing.
something a little funky. Yeah, go ahead.
Jazz funk stuff in there.
Yeah, it's baby gets fun.
And it still has that great octave work that you're doing in there, a la Wes Montgomery, of course. Yeah.
Yeah, there's that
That
whole
almost
intonation
sounds
thing.
hollow body, you know? That really has a nice sound.
Some people couldn't tell the difference.
Yeah, I can imagine. Well, you want to try the Goldie there?
Yeah.
In a way, I hate to say it, but that's kind of the cream of the crop.
Oh, that's what she's over here in the back.
My old Les Paul, I don't break it out very often, just for that.
It's kind of like a treat when you do it. It's like a fine wine, you know, a cigar to cap off the end of the night.
You always got to keep an eye and protect it.
Yeah, like these guys are kind of like the undercards.
The workhorses?
Yeah, the workhorse, and then here's the main attraction right here. This is what you pay money to come see. Let's see what she's got, how she's feeling.
right, Stu, that's the blues.
Without it, we wouldn't be here.
Yeah. Well, I really want to thank you for coming in.
Oh, thank you.
Time
it's been
just
a pleasure.
flew by. I wish we could be jamming all night on this stuff.
Only half hour, right?
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
No, it really sounds great, and all the best with future endeavors and all the work you're going to do as time goes on.
Thank you, Jim. It's been a pleasure.
All right. Thanks again. Okay, that's it for tonight's episode. Please tune in for future broadcasts and future guests. Thanks again. That's the Lawndale Guitar Show.